right, if you'd all rise, we'll begin our meeting. We'll open the meeting at 9:33 this morning. Start with a moment of silence and pledge of allegiance. A lot to think about, a lot on our minds. Something that I think I don't know, there wasn't a much, my husband and I talked about this. Yesterday was D-Day celebration, and not much was about that. So just a thought about that and what has that meant over the years to so many families in our country. So now let's have a moment of silence and then I'll follow with the pledge. Now our pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. First on the agenda, any public comment, agenda items only? Kick us off. Seeing none, we'll move on to old business. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in old business items 1 and 2?
So moved. Second.
First and second, any discussion? Any questions? Seeing none, hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Okay. Next, we move on to proclamations and certificates. We have a certificate today, and I'm really glad to see Wendy with us. It's really nice that you came. Thank you for that. Do I hear a motion to accept the certificate for Wendy Benzoni Sirfas for years of service, and I'll read it once we approve it.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
Okay, first, any
Not
discussion?
seconding means she doesn't recant.
Oh, she's not allowed to go anywhere. Okay. So any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay. Eric, Sarah Kirshner with us. Everybody knows, I'm just saying that for the public. Would you like a minute or two to talk? I know you were her direct supervisor or boss.
Oh, I wasn't prepared for that, but I think Michael was.
Would Michael like to?
Right after Eric, I'll be glad to have a couple words
I mean,
there.
I have a nice certificate to read, but it's nice
Well,
when.
you go first.
Want me to go first?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
We'll
Then
bring,
Eric, then Michael.
Hold them up here.
okay, Wendy, come on up. Okay, good morning, everyone. The Monroe County Certificate of Special Recognition. May it be known by all, the Monroe County Board of Commissioners does hereby honor Wendy Benzoni Sirfas for more than 31 years of dedicated service to the County of Monroe. As a symbol of our acknowledgement and appreciation, we have signed our hands to the certificate on the 7th day of June 2023. Sharon S. Lavador, John R. Moyer, John D.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Wendy can stay.
Oh, David.
No. It's limited to two. We've already identified which two.
David,
I'd be a half hour anyway, you guys don't have the
I
time.
know that.
we offered to let those that she worked directly with say a few words if you'd like to. So.
Well, Wendy's gonna be sorely missed. Wendy had responsibility for a lot of things that occur in our office. She's been there now
There would have been 17 years.
17 years in the DA's office. So she's gonna be sorely missed. I wish she wasn't leaving, but she has a future that she's looking forward to. Michael.
I'm not the future.
That's kind of negative.
Wendy's been my right-hand person for many years since the LeBar case. It was a kidnapping case, and that was my first working case with Wendy, and I was so pleasantly surprised by it all, the way she and I were in sync in terms of what we needed. It was a case where a young woman who was going to the Walmart to get some milk and some other things. She had a 2-year-old kid at the house. Her husband was a disabled war veteran who was injured at Fallujah. She gets in her car, she starts driving away, and there's a man in the backseat. She's taken about almost 48 hours, if I remember correctly, threatened, a lot of weird conduct going on with this fella. He was a repeat felon. He had a lot of issues mentally. She was able to talk her way to stay safe, and eventually help came, and I think it was out of county, Wendy's. And police came, and she was rescued. It went to trial, and the defense was all about how that really wasn't what happened. There was some consensual activity between the victim and this defendant, and we were looking, of course, for ways to refute that. There was some video in a supermarket that he made her go to where he bought rat poison, and she appeared to be smiling at him in the camera, so the defense was making a lot to do over things like that. And I sent Wendy to the Walmart to buy a half-gallon of milk. A half-gallon of milk. She didn't know why. That was the only thing we weren't in sync about. But then,
Yeah, I wasn't sure.
yeah, but then in the trial, it came out, she left that milk in that car for 2 days, and she had a 2-year-old still waiting at home. It was evidence that there was no consent. This was a taking against her will, and that was a piece of physical evidence, because we only had like a couple pictures of the inside of the car and the receipt. So it kind of brought that home. Mr. Labar was found guilty of all charges. He's still in state prison where he belongs. And that started this wonderful relationship where Wendy and I would be working on all the homicide cases that we would get, not just the ones that went to trial, but the dozens and dozens of cases. We would be at the scene. We would be talking to investigators. We would be working with the grand jury. And so I get through a very contested, heated primary, and I win the nomination, and I get this horrible email from Wendy saying really nice things, but in a very, very sad way. And one step forward and 2 steps back. And I don't know what I'm going to do going forward.
You'll find, yeah.
Dave, come on up.
No, I just want to invite everybody to a party we're sponsoring for Wendy at the Willow Tree at 5 o'clock on Friday. There'll be plenty of hors d'oeuvres and a cash bar, and hopefully you can come over for a few minutes if there's no smoke, and say goodbye to Wendy in a more sociable, amenable way, and send her off in a good style.
And I thank the commissioners for this wonderful proclamation. I appreciate
Thank you very much.
There's lots to do.
It's been my pleasure to work for the county
Trust
for
me, I
30
know.
years.
There's lots to do when you retire. So we're
But
done.
yeah, I'm looking forward to retiring. I'm sad to leave Mike, but I know that I'm leaving him in capable hands. We have a fantastic staff in the DA's office, and everybody wants to do my job. So I know it's going to be hard for him to pick one person. So probably it's going to be spread out over 3 or 4, but that'll be fine. It'll all work out. And I'll still be in the area.
Question,
So,
where did you
yes.
start when you started with the county?
In 1992, I started working in the Secretary's office. I worked for Joyce Reese for about 7 years. I went to the rec department for a little period of time after maternity leave. Then I went to the sheriff's office, and I was in the sheriff's office for about 7 years.
You were
And then
deputy in the sheriff.
I was a court security first. I worked at the front door, and then I went to the sheriff's academy and became a deputy sheriff under Todd Martin. And then I had the opportunity to work with Dave in 2006, and
You would say that. when you saw
couldn't
the
top
light.
that, so I
You
stayed
saw the
there.
light at that time.
I couldn't top it, so I stayed there, and I've had a fantastic career. I really couldn't ask for anything more in my retirement. So
When do you leave?
Friday.
Is that enough time to teach Michael how to get to Walmart for his own?
Yeah, he'll be fine. There's plenty of people who are gonna help Mike get the props he needs to put the bad people away.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Moving on,
You don't have to stay. You guys can-
That was my next.
that's totally up to you. motion under new business, item number 1, personnel, items A and B. Do I have a motion for the actions listed?
So moved. Second.
Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Moving on to number 2, electronic financial transactions ratified. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in number 2, items A, B, and C?
Moved. Second.
First and second, any discussion or questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed? Okay. Moving on to number 3, and the travel authorizations are attached. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in number 3, travel authorizations, item A?
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion or questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Number 4, Monroe County Children and Youth Services. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in number 4, items A and B?
So moved. Second.
I'll do the first and the second. Any discussion or questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Number 5, Commissioner's Office. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in number 5, items A through H?
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion on any one of the items? Questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Item number 6, Monroe County Redevelopment Authority. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in item A?
So moved. Second.
First and second, any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 7, Monroe County Correctional Facility. Do I hear a motion to approve the action listed in item A under number 7?
So moved. Second.
First and second, any discussion? Questions? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Number 8, capital outlay purchases. Do I hear a motion to approve the actions listed in number 8, item A?
So moved. Second.
First and second, any discussion?
Those are two evac chairs. Will be used at the new courthouse. After the addition is done, they're used in case the elevators cannot be used and they have to bring disabled people down via the stairs.
Thank you for that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Number 9, computer capital purchases, item A. Do I hear a motion to accept number 9, item A?
So moved.
Second.
First and second, any discussion?
Those are for 2 printers and the register and recorder's office. Paid for out of their fund that they generate.
Okay, any other questions or discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, any miscellaneous?
I have nothing.
I have nothing. Anyone there? No?
Any public comment? Okay,
Motion to adjourn.
Question,
Yes.
for 5G.
which one, 5?
5G,
G?
D.
D.
G as in Greg.
Greg,
Oh.
G. Court reporters. They're coming to a, that's what the unions go through with regards to agreements, and they're coming to an agreement.
And 6A, all of those, the funding, what is that?
That comes out of there's money, Act 167?
137.
137, and there's money that is attached to transfers of properties, and what they do is take that money and then they distribute it there's an Act 137 board, and they decide how that money should be distributed, and that's their results of who should get that money.
And this is something that, will they be made aware like this week, or who makes them aware of the funding?
The Act 137 board makes them aware, and so then they'll be notified.
Okay, and I was just, as I was going through this, Teresa Johnson, our treasurer, yeah, you're hiding behind the counter. Okay, she's gonna have some important news to share with Channel 13 after we're over. There's some changes going on through the commission.
Yeah, through the game commission.
Yeah.
They're, for doe license sales, they used to have to submit a pink envelope with a check and an actual application. The hunting regulations have changed this year, and you can now do everything online. You can come to any issuing agent, which our office would be the only one previously to do that. But now you can go to Walmart, you can go to Dick's, you can go to anyone who does issue a hunting license. And now you can get your first doe license when you purchase your hunting license. You used to have to wait during the time periods, which has changed. And now when you actually get your hunting license, you can get your first one. And then the timing for the second one would still be the same, which would be probably about a month later. But you can call our office, or you can go on the Game Commission's website. And the Game Commission is supposed to be mailing out postcards to let everyone know about the changes, and also emails for anyone who has registered to get a license over the past 2 years.
So Teresa, with that in mind, how many Airbnbs that those hunters can now rent? Did you go over your special number?
Almost 4,000. We're about 67 away from 4,000.
And that's kicking off the summer right now.
Yeah. In addition to the hunting, but yeah, it's actually, history is being made by doing this. These lovely pink envelopes had to only be accepted by mail, and you had to have an application and a check, and they have changed it, which is necessary. Other states have already been doing it, so it'll be interesting, because the 26th, our office could be inundated. They actually are going on sale a week later. They would always be on sale the third Monday of June, but now it's the end of June. So that has changed. But we're going to be very busy. We used to only accept them in the mail. Now we actually are going to be doing them in person. So we don't know. We don't know what's going to be expected.
Unless they go somewhere else.
Correct.
One or the other.
Yes, because now they can.
Yeah.
I mean, you could go anywhere to get your hunting license,
Mhm.
but you had to mail in your doe license in the mail, in those pink envelopes. Which, if you're a wife and had to make sure that you had that pink envelope in hand and got it to the post office, not early because it would be rejected, you understand. So it's going to be a good thing. Oh, yeah.
All right.
So it can either be in person or by mail.
No,
No
mail.
mail, no mail.
No pink envelopes, no mail, nothing.
But I can do it online.
And you can do it online.
In person and online.
Correct. Yes.
So those that come to your office will, a week earlier, are going to be told, come back in a week, but there still could be a mob.
Yes, and we don't really know. I mean, now, the nice thing about it is you can go on a weekend when we're not open. But again, when you purchase your hunting license, you can get your first doe tag. Before, you would purchase your hunting license and you'd get your pink envelope, you'd get your application. You'd have to mail that by a certain time to make sure it got in our office. And if it came the day before, we'd have to reject it. So all of that is going away, and it's.
So the sole reason John Moyer became a county commissioner so that he had direct access to the treasurer's office is no longer needed.
Oh, no. You have to mail it.
So I bought an Airbnb.
Okay, guys.
Now, is that why all the hunting and fishing magazines now are down in the hallway, in the waiting areas and on the first floor? You walk by there, all those magazines.
Oh, they're old.
I'm sure they are,
Older ones.
but
I
that's
don't
what
put
they
them out
are.
there.
Actually, I was part of that, and I thought it was a great idea for those folks that don't get them in the mail, that really walk over there and they can pick them up and take them if they want. They're magazines that some of our employees get that don't want to just throw them out.
surprised there's not promotional literature down there for the commissioners.
Okay. All right. Any further discussion?
We adjourn.
Thank
We've
you.
already